My name is Torgbui Klu Agudzeamegah II, Dufia, or Chief of Dagbamete. Today I'm hosting the fourth Atsiame Clan Festival, which is a festival started by the Atsiame Clan. And the purpose of this is to raise funds to support deprived or disadvantaged children in our communities. This covers about 40 towns and villages. And we come together every year.
That is the Atsiame Clan,
Atsiame Clan
of about 40
towns and villages. My message for all gathered here today is to come together, unify as one unit, and then forge more development projects in our district. The Atsiame Clan was initiated by some elders, and they have foresight for this particular festival. Our first aim is to bring all the clan communities together, and then to start embarking on more development projects, especially communal activities within our communities. This we started because we realized that communal labor is necessary to clean our environment and to keep us in good health. We started this and it's spreading through the communities, and if you come to Dagbamete here, you can see the essence of communal labor. We did many projects here, but as Atsiame Clan as a whole, I have a message for all our chiefs here today, and that message is to make sure that we take education seriously and support our children through their education. Secondly, there are some practices in our communities, some of which we have inherited and some we have started ourselves as a generation. Firstly, we know that when people pass on, or when some people go back to our forefathers, we need to send them off in a dignified way. But what we have noticed recently, or over the past years, is that people pass away and they put them in the mortuary for months, some of them running into years. And I can recall that some elders passed away who were kept in the mortuary for over 5 years before their funeral was held. And all this does not help in any way, because the cost of keeping them in the mortuary is enough to even fund the education of our little ones. So I'm urging all chiefs here today that we have to make some changes in our communities. We have to educate our elders and our youth on the need of holding funerals much earlier than we've been doing now, because that way we can save money, and also people can go back to their businesses, their workplaces without any interferences. Secondly, about the environment, we take environmental cleanliness very, very seriously in our community here, and I would like that to pass on to the other communities. If it's emulated, it can eradicate unnecessary diseases. For instance, dropping of plastic bags which are used for what we call today pure water and so on. Those ones remain there, rain falls, rain accumulates in them, and mosquitoes breed in them, and then we start suffering from malaria. So we would like to educate our people to have places where they keep those bags, so that they can be collected periodically and disposed of properly. Secondly, there are some practices like buying funeral cloths for every single person who dies in the community. We haven't got money. Our people haven't got money. But they go about buying cloth on credit, which they don't finish paying for before another person passes on. So their boxes and their trunks are all full of funeral cloths, which they cannot even use. But we have put a stop to that in our community here. No funeral cloths. We have 2 cloths, one for the young and one for the old. So that is what we use all the time. That way we can save money and send our kids to school. So I would like this to be emulated by the other communities in our clan.
Chief, what advice do you have for our youth who have left school and even they don't learn any work here in the town? Some of them, because of that, they started smoking, drinking. What advice do you have for them?
Well, my advice to the youth is first to take the education seriously. It's only if most of the time, if you don't study well, you end up being a dropout, and that way you will be without job. Then you go about doing unnecessary things. If they take their education seriously, they go through, become professionals, then they will live on that, and their families can also benefit. But they need support from parents. But youth that could not continue the education to tertiary level should engage in learning a trade. If you have a trade, you have a professional trade, you don't have to be a graduate to get employment. That way, everyone can be self-sustainable.